Hello and welcome to a Rebels Radio latest interview. I'm joined by Slough Town Joint Manager Neil Baker. How are you, Neil?
Very well, welcome back.
Thank you very much. You don't sound too well. Are you feeling a little bit under the weather?
Yeah, a little bit under the weather. I had a sort of bit of man flu over the last sort of day or so, so I've tried to keep myself away from everyone today.
All right, well, thanks for spending this time in close proximity to me for the next 10 minutes or so. Really appreciate it. Let's firstly look back to last Saturday. A nice turnaround and back to winning ways. Yeah,
it was a good win for us. We needed it really. We pinpointed that after the run that we'd had that we needed to try and pick up 3 points. The game started off okay. First 25 minutes. I don't think there was an awful lot between the two teams. Then once they scored the first goal, which we felt was a little bit sloppy from us. They then spent the next 20 minutes, they were firmly on top, and in reality, if it wasn't for Jake, we could have gone in sort of 3 or 4-0 down. He made some really good saves. So, but second half, we spoke to them at half time, and we asked that their characters stood out, and to be fair, second half, once we got a little bit of luck from Dobbo's shot, which cannoned back off the defender, that was probably a bit of luck that we've needed for a while, and as soon as we got that, you could see the confidence flooding back to the lads, and
as did the goals.
And as the goals, yeah, absolutely. It was nice to see Scott Harris get on the score sheet, get a couple of goals. He's a real old-fashioned centre forward. He's not easy to mark, and no, I was delighted really.
2 quick questions on Saturday. Firstly, changing direction that you normally play in, was that down to a conscious decision, or was it just the way that that the toss went?
No, it was. We talked about it. Our home record hasn't been great, to be honest, since we took over. I think we only had one period where we had a run of wins, so we haven't been great at home this season. So we thought we'd just change it up a little bit. It's football's psychological at times, and we decided we'd warm up the other end and start going towards the sort of end that we normally finish at. So yeah, it was a conscious decision that we decided on, and listen, it doesn't really make an awful lot of difference, but we won the game, so we'll probably do that again.
Second question, some interest in it, some discussion on the forum about it. George Shaw obviously had a knock just before half time, got a bit of an injury, also was booked and had been kind of putting in a few challenges. Yep. Was he taken off for the injury, or was he taken off from a tactical reason?
No, it was an injury. We had talked about potentially changing the side around at half time anyway, but he was quite groggy, George. He'd got a whack on the head, and he sort of came into the change room. He didn't really know where he was and what he was doing. So it was.
Does that make a difference from normal?
No, it's probably pretty standard from normal. But no, it was one that as soon as we saw him, it was going to come off, and in the end, it proved pivotal with Searsy coming on and doing really well.
Excellent. Okay, well let's discuss the last week then. No training Tuesday.
No, we've got a lot of travelling coming up over the next couple of weeks. 4 away games, and we felt that the previous week we'd been to Weymouth, then Paul. We trained on the Thursday. We trained on the previous Thursday. We just felt that we haven't given them a night off for a long time, so we felt that the ones that have been playing, they had the night off, and we got 2 or 3 games elsewhere, and myself and John and yourself obviously went to Margate versus Maidstone. Yeah,
hell of an atmosphere. I look forward to going back to Margate in early November, I think it is, for the trophy game up there. It'll be a really good day out. Get all those Rebel fans down there to put some of those locals through their paces. Yeah, you said you got a few people games. Who got games, and some had a harder game than others?
Yeah, Adam Cornell and Sean Fraser both went and played for Binfield. Roger Herridge has just taken over from Binfield, and we've got quite a good relationship with Roger. So we allowed those two to go and play. And unfortunately, Dave Woosley got sent off on 40 minutes for a tackle, and then within that same incident, one of their Binfield players also got a red card for a second booking. So it left them down to 9 men at 0-0 with a whole second half to play. But Binfield went and won the game 1-0, which is tremendous result for them, and it meant that the 2 lads had a real good 90 and had to work very hard.
Excellent. And there was a few league fixtures on. The opponents on Saturday, Truro were one of them, coming out 2-1 at home victors to Frome. What do you make of the trip down there to the southwest this weekend?
Yeah, I mean it's the toughest one that you've got to face in this league.
270 miles.
Yes, it's a long way. It's a long way, and I mean I've done it before on the train, and I don't think there's an easy way of getting there. Really, it's 4 and a bit hours on the train. 4.5, 5 hours in a car, maybe 6.5 hours on a coach. So we've made the decision to actually go down in cars. The players, there'll be 5 of us driving, and none of the players will be driving. They'll just be relaxing, and in the hope that we can get down there nice and quick. Also to save costs as well. It's an expensive trip. If you get a coach and you have to do a night stop and whatever else. So we've coupled it with a night out. We're going to stop in Exeter on the way home and try and make a bit of a day out of it. So it's a tough one.
Will it affect the players at all to travel down?
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it will do. I'm sure Truro get it every other week. So,
but having said that, they haven't got that strong home record. Their away record's better than their home.
Yeah, I mean, listen, everyone can make excuses about journeys and whatever else. At the end of the day, our lads are fit boys, and they'll go out and work hard as they can, and whatever will be. It's a tough journey, but.
You prefer to do it on a Saturday?
Well, absolutely. I mean, that was the reason why we ended up changing it to this Saturday, because the weekend we're meant to be playing them is the second qualifying round of the FA Trophy, and it only needs one of us or them to get through, and we'd have had to go there on a Tuesday night, and Tuesday night would just be an absolute logistical nightmare. So as soon as we were knocked out and they were knocked out, it was a simple decision for us to make. We had to wait on them actually, because they were trying to do something similar and rearrange a game against Hungerford, but Hungerford decided that they weren't going to do that, and I think they've now ended up rearranging a game with Hereford. So it's worked out in our favour. Yeah,
so we're thankful to the people of Truro to do that, to make that accommodation and allow us to go down there on a Saturday.
Yeah.
What squad are you going to be taking with you?
Yeah, we're without Jamie McClurg. Jamie was unavailable 2 weeks ago for his best friend's wedding, stag do, and it's the wedding, unfortunately, this weekend. So something that we've known about. So him and George Frith has got a slight problem with his adductor, so he will not be travelling, and then also Eddie's still not quite fit. But other than that, we've got Luke Knight, who trained fully tonight. He'll come back into the squad. I mean we're sort of pretty much where we were from Saturday, with the exception of Clergy and bringing in Knighty, so pretty much like for like.
And what do you go down there hoping for?
Well, you hope for a win. It's any game you go into, you hope you win. I mean, no, we just want to go there, work hard, make sure that we put in a performance, and we've got no divine right to win anything in this league. I mean, Truro are obviously sitting in the playoffs at the moment, and we've got to aspire to be like those sides, and for us to be like that, we've got to try and beat them. So we'll be going there, trying to win the game.
Brilliant. Final note, Warren Harris had his surgery end of last week. How's he getting on?
Yeah, he had his surgery on Friday. He's obviously bedridden at the moment. He's up and about in terms of he can, on his crutches walk around a little bit, but he has to do his exercises every hour. It's a long slog, a bit like Fowles. I mean, unfortunately, because he's an electrician, he's always bending down, and it means that he's probably got to be off work at probably 2 weeks longer than Fowles would have been. So, it's quite a hard hit. For anyone to be off work for 6 weeks, especially when you're self-employed. So obviously we've run, or I've run the fundraiser from Slough, and MyFC are running one at the moment, which is a golden goal competition. The Slough one's actually sold out now, but there's still, I think, about 40 or 50 tickets on the MyFC site. So if you haven't bought one, you haven't managed to get one, get onto the MyFC site.
Some good prizes.
Yeah, there is. I mean, we just, instead of just donating money, I thought that we'd come up with something where there's some prizes, so somebody can try and win something from it, and it's £10 a ticket. So it's we've had a good response from it, and it just helps a massive player through a very tough time. So yeah.
It's the least he deserves.
Yeah, I think so.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been nice to catch up. Hopefully we'll catch up between the next 2 away fixtures between Corby next Wednesday.
Yes, yeah.
But before that, let's hope that Slough get 3 points this Saturday.
That'd be very nice.
Excellent.
Cheers, John.
Thanks.
Thank you.